Everybody's ready to watch the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Gate with Dustman and Nate. I'm Dustman, and to bring you another awesome episode, my dog Nate.
What's up, everybody? Nate here, and as you can see, we're not at the normal studio. We're out here at the trails. This is where Dustin's grown his skills. He maintains these and does a lot of work. And we're gonna figure out what all that takes.
Yeah, I just went on Facebook, and I use Facebook a lot more than I use other stuff. But I went on Facebook and I seen a post on No Holds Barred about somebody bashing or their track, their local track.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was or who it was or whatever, So I figured it'd be kind of cool just to show how much it takes to keep a track going and what it takes to build a track. And
That makes sense.
yeah, it's a little different, if the track don't necessarily ask you to come and help.
Yeah.
Which there are tracks out there.
Right.
But if a track is offering, and people to come and help and all that,
They're open for the volunteers.
Right. I'd say shut up and get there and help,
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, so let's go through that and see what, it takes and what, a little bit about me in here and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
So we'll get started rolling on through that.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Nate Dogg in the back. He's doing the camera right now, asking questions. I'm standing in front of the track that I built.
Yep.
I
So.
got a lot of help.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
not mine, I guess.
So what's been the biggest what's the hardest thing about building the track?
Man, I would definitely say just having the work and help. I've got one person that comes down and helps dig right now, and that's Jimmy. He comes and helps. I got a lot though that come down and dig once in a while, but it's not. I don't have a whole lot of people, So I'd say like the hardest part is getting the help, but then again, it's really hard just to keep people to respect the fact that we are digging and making them available for them to ride.
Do you guys get a lot of hooligans down here trying to ride dirt bikes and stuff all over the trails?
Yeah. See, and that's one of the things is it's not necessarily a private property, so technically anybody could come ride it, but I dig this, for BMX purposes, and yeah, we get a lot of kids down here. But we get a lot of kids down here that race BMX too, and actually started down here and went to the BMX track. Which actually one was Deontay.
I was gonna say, I thought Deontay was one of those guys.
Yep. I started building this track about, I'd say about 9 years ago, and about then is when Deontay started coming down here as a little guy, and he grew up and I told him about the BMX track, and he ended up going and doing really good. He still races. So we've had a lot of kids that come down here and are better than their mom and dad even know. Their mom and dad probably don't know that they ride bikes that good, So I think that's definitely one of the really cool things about this track.
So how many times since you've built the track have you changed it up?
Oh my God, every year.
Every year?
Yeah, every year that I come down, we build. We definitely change it and make it a little bit better every year. Matter of fact, like today, we're building and as soon as it's diggable, we're down here, doing as much as we can, all the way until the snow hits. So definitely it's always changing constantly. It's never the same. I probably dig more than I ride.
Yeah. Do you think that counts as part of your workout?
As much as I'd like to think that that's part of my workout, no. I think that I'm so used to it. Like when I was young, I would go down, and luckily, when I've been able to have trails, two sets of trails actually, in my hometown ever since I was 5 years old. So I've been really lucky, and I've had places to go and do crazy stuff at. So that's helped me a lot.
Right on. So what has been the most difficult obstacle here at the track to build?
Oh man. Probably the starting hill, or actually no, I would have to say the berms. Starting hill is definitely one of them, but the berms are definitely the most time-consuming thing that we have on the track.
Yeah.
The corners take so much dirt, and I don't know if people realize that, but definitely the corners. Definitely the corners. That corner over there has a lot of dirt, and
How hard is it to shape them and like to maintain?
it's actually it's more about the way you put your where you put your dirt at. You know, so it's all about building it the right way. You can't just go toss dirt. And that's where we come back to having the help, because
Mm-hmm.
if you have the wrong help, it's not even helping at all. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it makes it harder for you to do it.
You then have to go back in and redo it, and
Right,
you're not
right.
saving you any time.
Yeah. So like for me, I think it's like building it correctly makes it like 20 times easier to shape. You know, so
Mhm.
having the right help definitely helps. And that comes back to, you know, as well, like having help doing like corners. We need all the help we can get, you know, 'cause,
Right.
like it takes so much. But there again, you don't know what you're
Right.
doing.
And it's like it's good when you have the help that you can like teach and show them the right way to do everything. That
Right.
helps them a lot.
Correctly.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, you know, that's part of the battle. And then another thing is we're right next to the river, so like we get the, you know, the berm built up to where we want it, and then it'll flood, and then the river comes over, and then it just melts away our jump and on our berms and takes away probably, you know, 2 feet of what we did the last summer, you know.
Has that been the one of the hardest things about building at this location?
Yes,
Is the flood?
definitely. This is definitely one of the locations that I've rode since I was probably 6 years old, 7 years old. And it flooded probably, man, it hasn't flooded maybe 2 times
Mhm.
since. So like, it used to actually be trails, but it actually, like, somebody like just quit riding down here, and it got pretty flat from like the floods, you know, and it was really pretty much gone. And then me and a bunch of my friends, we came down, and we brought her back, and we started building actual jumps like this, race jumps. So when the flood comes through, it don't necessarily knock down these peaks that we had, you know, because
Right.
that's all we had were peaks back then, and
Mm-hmm.
them melted like that.
Yep.
So building solid doubles and stuff like that, when the, you know, flood comes through, it don't melt like that. It actually stays really, really good, a lot better than you would think. But our corners, our corners are what go first. Some things, because they're pretty peaky, you know, and it takes a lot. So when them go, boy, you come back down and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, that's 2 weeks of work, bro.
So much more digging.
Yeah. So that's definitely been one of the hardest things throughout the whole thing.
So with all of the configurations and everything you've had down here, what's been some of like the best obstacles that's worked the best? Like do the doubles or like the step tables? Like what's been working the best out here?
Oh God, I'd say step ups.
Step ups?
Yeah, we got a lot of step ups, but I like to mimic some of the stuff that I encounter at Nash. So like when I went down to Louisiana with you, matter of fact,
Yep.
we went down there, and it was that first goofy camel hump. Like,
Yep.
you know, that I literally came home because I could not get over that thing. So I came home and I built it, and that's this right here.
Let's
So
take a look at it.
yeah, and so like I tried to mimic the exact thing. Like it's, you know, it's only maybe 2 people wide, but then again, still like the same length, the same height. And it was really, really goofy for me down there, and to actually come here and build it, it actually helped me a lot, because this year at the Grands ended up being the same obstacle.
Yep.
So, but I ended up messing it up anyway. I bonked it, so practicing didn't help me. I'd like to think, you know, but
And then
this place has definitely made me where I am.
and then what kind of jump configurations don't work the best here? Like for
Um,
if someone's building their own, so they know which ones to like try to incorporate, some that to not incorporate so
yeah,
much.
I mean, I can't say that there's a bad jump, because you can always learn something off of anything, you know. But as long as you put the right amount of work in it, it'll always be smooth. You just gotta add a little bit more dirt. That's my theory. You
So,
always gotta add more dirt.
so it doesn't matter this type of jump so much as as long as it's built correctly, smooth, and riding well.
Right, right. And to build the correct jump, you have to, like I said, put more dirt.
Yep.
Because most of the time, I like to visualize what I see at a BMX track, and I go to a BMX track and actually examine the jumps and what they look like and how big they are, so that way when I do come down to my trail, it mimics that. It's not small, skinny jumps that are, not gonna teach me what I need.
Right.
So always try to make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit taller. Um, that's that's the best thing you can do for building,
Right.
That's fine.
And what's your favorite jump to sky out here?
Definitely I had a pro. It was a pro jump
It was a
over
pro
there.
jump.
Yeah. But like I said, everything changes throughout every year. So we ended up taking out the pro jump, but it's really, really big, 22 feet long. It feels a lot bigger. It's a huge jump.
Yep, coming through the rhythm section, everything being
Yeah,
it not being a full size track, a 22-foot booter in the woods is a little different.
Yes, and there's only been like 4 or 5 people that have jumped the whole thing.
Yeah, I got her.
Yep, you're one of them. I think me, you,
Mike, Deontay.
Mike, yep, Deontay, and Stefan.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's it. Not the easiest jump. That's definitely one of the funnest places.
Mook hit it too.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually building trails over there. We're getting there.
Oh yeah.
But, the track takes a lot of work. So just trying to get over to the trails, it's like by the end of the year, then you're like, oh, I can finally get there. And then it's like, oh, it's snowing. So
Fair.
it is what it is.
All right, and then this is the pro jump. I'm assuming you were talking about little bit ago, right?
Yeah. This is the 20-footer. It has been a step. The first thing was a step up, and it had a pro jump next to it. But we ended up moving it all together and making like nice big long jump. So that way we had something to kind of practice in Illinois. That was something that was kind of very challenging for us and get used to going to the grands and hit something that's
Right.
huge, So
Right, definitely being in the middle of Illinois, and there's no real big jumps around, like nothing
Right.
with a gap in the middle for sure.
Right. So this definitely helped make people get over their fears of jumping and just sending it.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
Yeah. So that definitely helps a lot.
So with everything that comes with building a track, I'm sure there's some good things that come outside of BMX. What's like a good story you got of a kid coming down and learning about BMX?
The best one is definitely Deontay.
Deontay, yeah.
Yeah. There's been a couple others, but I'd say Deontay's brother came down too, Avery. He got really good, but he ended up not ended up getting into racing. He wanted to very bad, but he'd always bring his little brothers down, and that was Deontay. And I think by the time that Deontay was able to get into there and get racing, his mom and dad finally figured out what it was, because Avery, he was just like, he wanted in there and they didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like another one of those things. I said that, people may not even know how good their kids were, because Avery was a very good rider. He would come down here, I'd be digging, and he'd come down by himself, all by himself, and he'd probably hit like 10 laps, and then go home. And he'd do that a lot. I'd be down here digging by myself and just making something bigger, and all of a sudden he'd show up with his I don't know, Dre Beats or whatever they are, and he'd just zoom hit the lap. He got really good. And same thing with Deontay. He would come down here every once in a while, and he'd be with his brother, or he'd be down here with himself, and he was little with cotton ball head, and he got really good as well. And I think that was probably the best success story from down here.
Definitely.
He got really good. So.
And what has all the time you spent on this track, what has it like taught you as like a person? Like, what does this teach you?
It's taught me a lot, man. If you you just build on something, you got to keep building. Never quit. You know, uh, Same thing for your life. If you want something, you got to work for it. I get a lot of enjoyment out of this place, but it's only with how much work I put into it. So I put that in pretty much all the aspects of my life. Got to work hard, and it's definitely true. Put your work into it, get stuff happen.
Yeah, as hard as much work as you put in, BMX lets you get it back out almost.
Yeah.
And it definitely shows as you've got this facility here that where you get to come and ride all the time. Like,
And I mean, this is definitely one of the places that, when I'm happy or mad or sad, it don't matter what type of emotion I have. I come down here, and it just takes everything away, and that's just what I'm really looking for.
definitely. That's a great thing because BMX does that for a lot of people. And it helps me. Like that's how I use BMX as that sort of release as well.
Right.
Is as long as you're on that bike, the only thing that matters is keeping it on the two wheels.
It's like a medicine, man. People don't realize, once that gate drops or you're riding on these jumps, man, like everything just goes away and it's just all smiles. You can't think about nothing but smiling.
100%.
All right, so we got Nate now in the front.
What's up, guys?
And I wanted to ask him a few questions as well. So, what was it like coming down here for the first time?
Oh, being down here, I was just super grateful. This track, I got to see it, and then I've heard about it for a very long time, and it lived up to its expectations. Like, I was extremely excited. The jumps are all made with the same quality that like a track is made with, like that we'd be riding. It feels very similar. Like, there's no real, yep, these are backyard jumps feeling to these at all. It's all like well made. You feel comfortable, and it helps you can carry speed all the way around this track.
Right. And that's definitely what we were looking for. So how different is it riding this than it is actually riding trails?
So between these and trails, it's got a lot of the same components because it also comes to being like a mindset. Because if you look at the second straight, or if you just look at this last jump, you can look at it just like a trail.
Right.
You can just sit there, sky them, have a good session with the homies. But the great thing about this is you can do both here. You can actually push yourself. You can push speed. And these corners, man, let me tell you, if you learn how to corner in these, this is how Dustin got to get his corners the way that he does it, man. He carries the speed the same as like a race out here, just going through the shorter corners, berms, everything. It is insane.
All right. And how much has it helped you riding down here, coming from here to the track? How much did that help you?
I definitely feel like it helped a good amount. Learning how to ride these corners definitely made me as well more comfortable in the corners. And then I came here and then I decided I should learn how to do pole manuals. So I started learning how to pole manual stuff. It's a great place to like sit, take a look back at your BMX riding and be like, okay, let me dissect it. I want to work on this thing, and this thing. And this gives you all the tools to work on it.
Right. And does it make it easier to like ride down here with nobody like watching? How it's like spectators at the track?
Honestly, as soon as that helmet goes on, nobody else is there. I never even thought about them. Even at Grands or anything. The people, they don't matter to me at all. Like,
that's interesting.
It's all just as soon as I'm on the two wheels. Those are the only thing that I really noticed.
Nice. Cool. And what's the main thing that you have taken from this track to the BMX track?
A big thing that I have learned here that I use at riding now more is pole manual. That's one of the biggest things because that was the first thing I decided to learn when I came down here last year was how do I pole manual stuff because that's something I hadn't decided to learn yet.
Yeah.
And then definitely second is the corners because I figured out how the outside pedal drop works when you go around these and it helps you carry the speed. And then it lets you have a lot more speed for the third straight here because last year it was divided into two with two different options that you could run down. And having more speed for them is always better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. So I think that's a good wrap. We'll let Nate over there take her to home.
Well, I appreciate you guys for watching. But before we go, we must say thanks to T-Bone, Gate 9, Ripped, Dye Jobs, EBB Products. Who else we going here?
I think that's about it.
Mega Design Group.
Yeah, they all know.
Yep.
We'll get them in there. We'll tag them all in there.
We appreciate you guys. If you guys want to hit like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. We really appreciate it. And if you want to leave a comment, let us know what kind of episodes you want to see from us. We could bring out that kind of content. Y'all have a good one. See you in the next.
Round fresh ready.